Hey everyone, thanks for checking in and welcome to the second video in this series. And in case the YouTube suggested algorithm brought you to my channel for the first time, my name is Tim and I specialize in long-form video tutorials exclusively on fingerstyle songs. You can check out the full lesson archive at timvanrooy.com. So in part 1 we already talked about how we ended up in this project, and I also introduced you to Peter of PDS Guitars. He came up with the idea to try and figure out what the ideal fingerstyle guitar would be based on what I had learned over the last few years doing all of these different lessons. He wasted no time getting into the project. To be honest, he even outmaneuvered me. When I drove down to his workshop last time, I was planning on just shooting some small video clips, and then Peter went through this big stack of wooden boards with what luthiers call a tap tone test. And I immediately realized I should have brought my audio gear as well. If you've ever seen someone do this, you know it can be a bit mystifying. This is the basic concept. You take a piece of wood and you grab it in a very specific spot with your thumb and index, or thumb and middle finger. And then you use the index finger or middle finger on your other hand to gently tap the board and make it resonate. That specific gripping point that you are using has to allow that resonance to keep going as long as possible. If you would hold the board in any other way, at a different point or with more fingers, you would block the timbre from resonating properly. If performed correctly, this test allows a luthier to determine the potential of the tone wood and how it can be used. It's not really as easy as labeling a board as good or bad. A luthier also has to decide for which type of instrument it would be suited and how he has to pair it with the other tone woods being used. A board that would be instantly dismissed for a big jumbo guitar could be the perfect piece for a mandolin, for instance. Peter also adds an extra test to check the quality of the tone wood, but we'll cover that at the end of the video. Now, I've seen many luthiers do this in the past, and quite often I did not know what to listen for. Many years ago I did a promotional tour for Santa Cruz Guitars with their founder and top luthier Richard Hoover. He always brought an unfinished top to these sessions, and he would go into great detail and perform these tap tests. Even after doing 5, 6, 7 of these sessions with him, I still couldn't put my finger on what made that piece of wood sound promising, according to him. It could have been a technical issue, maybe not having the correct microphones to amplify these tests, but I'm sure many people in the audience, many of who attended only one of these sessions, must have had the same feeling. What are we listening for? So, if it is so difficult to hear, then why make this video? Well, Peter's tone wood stash has so many different sounding boards that I'm sure you will hear the difference in this video. I certainly did when he went through those boards the first time, and that is why I decided to do another round trip to Peter's workshop, 100 miles, with proper audio gear this time. Let me quickly go over the sound setup. I wanted to make sure that I got at least one good signal, but this was pretty strange stuff to amplify, just basically a tap on a piece of wood and that is all. So we recorded everything with 2 microphones, one of my trusty Neumann 184 condenser mics and a Sennheiser M160 ribbon mic. Both signals turned out to be perfectly fine, so we just panned the Sennheiser to the left and the Neumann to the right. If you want to isolate them, then just listen to the test with earbuds and take one of them out. There was no EQ added, only some compression, and I never changed the volume settings in between the different tests. You will also see the frequency analyzer on screen as a visual aid. This analyzer simply shows you which frequencies it is picking up. This analyzer goes all the way up to 20,000 Hz, but these tap tests are only moving the dial between 0 and 2000 Hz, so I just enlarged that part of the scale. You'll see 2 lines, one for each microphone. And this will show you that picking a different microphone can already influence the results. The graph is similar for the most part, but some sections do show a significant difference. So that's all the info. Let's proceed to the actual testing. Let's do some boards for the back and sides first. Take it away, Peter. Hopefully that makes the comparison a little bit easier, just having them back to back so quickly after each other. Now we move on to the boards we are considering for the top. Let them rip, Peter. Now, before we go ahead and actually choose which boards we are going to use, Peter has one last extra test, one for which he needs a pricey piece of gear. This is a Lucchi Meter, named after its inventor Giovanni Lucchi, an Italian master violin bowmaker. He wanted to be able to check the internal quality of the wood he was using, so he developed this little device. It uses a transmitter and a receiver. It sends ultrasonic waves through the timber, picks it back up and then gives you a speed measurement. The higher the number, the better, as it means that there are less imperfections in the wood that would hamper the resonance. The meter comes with a booklet that gives you a range of top and bottom numbers for different tone woods, so after the initial tap tone test, you can do a quick reading, completing your research on that piece of wood. You now know the tonal characteristics, frequencies, sustain, volume, and the internal quality of the timber. And now we're going to have to choose which boards are going to go into the new guitar. I can already tell you that Peter has already sort of worked his preferred combination into these tests. We're probably going to choose, both the top and the back out of the examples in this video. But if you're up for some speculation, then let me know in the comments which boards you think are going to be used. Listen back to the tap test and remember the fact that I'll be going for a guitar that sounds a little bit brighter. In the next video, we will reveal which road we took and why. I'll see you there. Take care.